Good morning. It's a beautiful morning here. My little thermometer here says 64 degrees. I like this. I just have to get used to how to use it. But I think I checked the temperature and it is 64 degrees. So it must work. I don't understand it quite yet, but it was gifted to me, so I was going to put it in the garage sale, but I don't know, I might keep it because it's kind of pretty. Anyway, it's beautiful here. It's so quiet. You can hear a dove off in the distance. It's so pretty. Okay, we're going to take a walk around the garden because we had some really brutal hot weather and we got no rain. We was hoping we would get some. It was supposed to rain yesterday, but it didn't. So let's take a look. Everything has done pretty well. This weekend it was nice. So I got rid of all the dead stuff in my tomatoes. Dead limbs. Well, here's another one that I missed. But I'll get it cut off. Let me see where my scissors are. Might as well do it right now because it just makes the whole plant better. It instead of trying to feed the dead, it's feeding new growth. Because we'll have some more tomatoes by the end of the season. It's only September. My Salanova lettuce downstairs, some of it needs to be put in pots this week because they're getting big and I like to give them more room if I can. So I'm not going to put them out yet because we're supposed to have some more 100-degree weather this weekend. Boo. But hopefully it's only for a day or two. Hopefully it's not for a whole week like the last time. I don't think it will be. There, I think I got it all. Alright, look how big oh, that's got a crack in it. I may get it picked and get it inside. And sometimes, maybe a little bit of overwatering because it was so dry. Oh my goodness, my kitties have been jumping in my garden. It's just, it is what it is. There goes Medallia. But you know what? It really wasn't flowering anymore. Well, here it proved me wrong. But they weren't very big. And they were struggling because they just didn't get enough sun over here. The only one that really did pretty well was this one. It has 3 real pretty blooms on it. See, and she pretty. My zinnias don't care. They don't mind anything. That's trying to grow back. This dahlia. And maybe it'll grow. I don't know. I don't know if it'll grow quick enough. But they're all growing from the bottom. New growth. Even this one. Now this one isn't. I don't know. I think it had some really pretty flowers on it, and once it dies back, I'll dig up the tubers and hopefully I'll have some nice tubers because next year we may not be here and we may have a garden that is full sun again. I know we will. So I hope everything works out with that. Okay, let's start from the beginning. There's my lantana. She's pretty. It seems like they kind of embrace the heat. My verbena is blooming again. The asters, yeah, there's some dead ones on it, but boy, they stayed bloomed a long time. I'm taking some and drying them because I dried one accidentally in some of my other dried flowers that I was drying, and it was kind of pretty. So, okay, let's take a look. Tomatoes, they're doing great. They're still putting on. They're still, and the beans, they're going to love this cool weather. I probably could pick beans today, maybe. Looks like there's a few beans in there, but They should have a lot of beans in here because, last week they were putting on tiny beans, little beans. So they should be growing. My peppers, they like the hot weather, especially the jalapenos. But they're kind of back here where they don't get the sun like they should. I think everything has done really well considering being too close, just not enough sun. I hope they get some Brussels sprouts on there. It's my first time I've ever grown Brussels sprouts to the end. I've tried growing them before, but they got so bug infested that I never grew them. But this year I wanted to try again, so I did. This is going to be cut back, probably about to here, because but I'm going to do it a little at a time. It keeps putting on new growth up here, and I hate to have to cut off, blooms and stuff, but it needs to be cut back so it can bush out better, because look at the bottom, it's just kind of bare. And there's my black pearl. She does okay. She gets really wilted looking in the sun, but she comes back every morning. These are weeds, and they're very toxic, but it's pokeweed. But they bring in birds that eat insects, like the gray catbirds, the warblers, orioles. Baltimore orioles love these, and some really nice birds they bring in. So I let them grow, and really the plant's pretty nice, and it's a plant that doesn't get diseased very well. It may get aphids, but hey, if the aphids stay on this, maybe they'll stay off of my other plants. Last Thursday I got so bored being at home by myself. I tried to call a couple people to talk, have a little conversation. Everybody was about their business. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to get in the car. I'm going to go get me some more fertilizer. I like that geocharged fertilizer. So, but I can't just not go through her greenhouse. So I seen these and I'm like, well, that's kind of cool. What are those? And I looked, and they're called hairy balls. They're in the milkweed family, so they attract monarchs. So I got 2 of them. And then I got me a hyacinth bean. They're supposed to be real pretty, and they're supposed to be fragrant too. I'm trying to get some more fragrance in my garden, because sometimes, a flower, it looks so beautiful, and I put my nose up to it and it doesn't have a pretty smell. It's like my dinner plate dahlias out there. They're so gorgeous, but I think they should smell like purple. I think they should smell like grape or lavender, something. They should smell pretty, and you don't always get that. I pruned off some basil stems the other day to dry, so I'm going to dry some of those. I got some oregano drying. I harvested some seed. My alliums that I cut back a little too quick, but then I don't know, because if I'd left them out there, the seed may have fell off of them. But they're starting to open up and dropping their seeds. See, there's some seed, and I have some in my package. Yep, there's some seed in there. And I may not worry about them coming out of their little shells. I may just chop them off and put them in the seed packet and be done. They're doing really well. Getting me some allium seed to take with me to our new forever home. Isn't that so pretty? I just love this container. I don't know why, but I just do. And you know, these geraniums were a mix, so I had no idea what color they would be. But isn't it something that it's the same color as the bells that super bells I put in there? That's pretty cool. And then the red just kind of gives it a little extra prettiness. My cherry bush, boy, she is growing, growing, growing. And there's our tulip tree. We'll be taking it with us too to plant. This still looks all the same. I may try cutting some of those spent, you know, those kind of flowers. I probably haven't had enough coffee this morning, but today is laundry day, so I got a load of laundry in, getting my laundry started. I seen a great big cobweb up here. I got all my towels are in the wash, so I'm using the cat's towels that they lay on outside to get rid of the cobwebs. Boy, they're big today. It's that time of year. That time of year. I just don't want to walk through cobwebs. That's, to me, that's the worst feeling. I just don't like it. Get that cobweb down. It was a big one. I seen it from the garden. Okay. This impatient, she's blooming. The little volunteer one. And the petunias and the snapdragons are all doing very well. This one just dried up one day and said, nope, I'm not doing that no more. I don't like it. It still smells pretty. The leaves smell so pretty. But I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm just gonna leave it. It might come back next year. It might come back. These have done good all year. Got a little yarrow. The mums, they're growing. This one not so much. That's the one I broke. But it still looks good. I don't know if it'll die or not, but it might put a bloom or two on this year. There's a petunia I found. It was a volunteer petunia that I put in a pot. She's doing she's gonna look pretty. She does look pretty. I might have to put a little bit of a stand around her. I hope she gets to bloom full force this year. Salvia over there, and my eargrom's trying to grow back a little bit. It's trying to grow back. It's a good plant. It grows really easy and fast. My petunia, or my begonia, Pegasus, she's got a web in her. And I didn't worry about it too much last night, but she has a spider that keeps growing webs, and I think it's a wolf spider. And the thing is wolf spiders are good because they eat bad insects. So I kind of left it, but I didn't want him making a web all over her. So we'll see how that goes. Here's another beautiful dahlia. Oh, she's so pretty, but I'm not going to cut it off and take it in because she'll die in a couple days. I'll just leave her here and the neighbors can enjoy her. This one, she bloomed in the sun when it was really hot, so she didn't make it very long. I tried, but she has one growing back here. This one's opening up. It'll be open in like 3 or 4 days. And then we've got another one. So how many's on here? She's got a littler one here. I'm going to have to harvest some of this today, this week. I'll probably start today and harvest some of this. And I'm thinking this fall I'm going to move my hydrangea over here. I think she'll be better here because my husband is going to take this garden and make it grass. He's going to put grass in here. And it should grow pretty good. Let's see if I can find any more seeds on here. The latana. They're little black balls is what they are. They almost look like little black berries, but I don't see any. I only got two. I only got two of them, and I'm not sure if they're sterile or if they'll grow. So we'll just see what happens with those seeds I have. A couple of little seeds I have. And we got one little bachelor buttons. I clipped off a lot of the forget-me-nots because they get those burrs on them, and my cats get in them, and I have to pull them out. The Dodiscus looks like it might come back and bloom again. It didn't like the heat too much, I don't think. I need to pull weeds in here. I'll do that. I got a lot to do today, but I'll get to it this week. But everything's looking pretty decent. That hot weather, boy, it made a lot of things a little sad, but this might have been a little bit too much watered. But I'm not going to water. I'm not going to water today because it's, this one's like, no. It was so pretty. I probably gave it too much water maybe, or something. Maybe she'll come out of it. If not, that's fine. It's getting to the end of the season, and I'm not too worried about anything. Let nature take its course. My pestamon is blooming out a little bit here. See this pin cushion. I'm going to cut these dead stems off. Maybe she'll go back again a little bit. She's growing. Her foliage is growing, but she's not bloomed again. Let's see what they say. Long blooming flowers attract butterflies to garden's edge or rock gardens. Long lasting in arrangements, prefers partial shade in hot summer climates. And that's what she got. There. There. And this Coreospis is in her way a little bit too. I might have to pull her out and put her somewhere else because they like to take over sometimes. I'll put that card right there. All right, my rose bush, I'm just going to leave her. She's good greenery, but I'm going to cut her way back this fall and let her grow back again and see if she'll do anything. But she just won't bloom, and I don't know if things are eating on her again or not, but I've done everything I could to keep her alive and get her to bloom. Cleaned her all up, but the minors are back down here on some of her leaves, and I've clipped her, and clipped her. Cleaned the aphids off and everything. Look how big these leaves are. They're beautiful. But this one just has tiny leaves. But when they go out to the farm with me, they'll get a trellis, both of them. Thing of it is, they don't like the winters, so I may have to see if I can cover them or something to keep them. We'll see how that all works out. My goodness, look at my Coleus. Isn't she just something else? She's huge, really huge. Look, this one had the same that's going on with that impatient, and now she's blooming. Thank goodness, she's at least blooming. I'm going to have to cut this way back this year. This thing has grown clear out, and behind there, all the way back, she's growing crazy. So, oh, lost one of her blooms, but she bloomed. This one looks good, but these don't. Well, like I said, it's the end of the season. I don't attend, attend to keep them all, They're gonna die. Eventually they're gonna die. So they're gonna die back, and those impatiens, they don't care. They're growing new ones. Look at all the new ones they're growing. Crazy impatience. And then I have some over here that are growing. Yeah. Alright, I think that's it. Not too much to show. It's just basically harvesting and drying flowers. I got smart the other day when I was cutting my some status and gomphrena and stuff to dry. I thought I'd do them in bouquets, just let them dry as a bouquet already, and that way I can just put them in a vase. Once they dry, I'll just turn them over and put them in a vase. I don't know how this one's gonna do it. Doesn't look like it's gonna be very pretty, but I was thinking about them dahlias out in my garden and drying them, because dahlias dry, a lot of dahlias dry real pretty. It's kind of a quiet day. I got you looking at the sky. This thing just doesn't want to stay on very well. There we go. There we go. It's just kind of a quiet Monday. Oh my goodness, the butterflies we had out here yesterday, they were so happy to have a break from the heat. I'm going to put my camera up out here this afternoon while the cats are inside sleeping. I try to get some good pictures of the butterflies. I have so many monarchs this year. It's unreal. I have a lot of monarchs that come. Monarchs and tiger tails, swallowtails, beautiful, beautiful butterflies. And it's kind of exciting, especially when I got them hairy balls. My husband says when we get out to the farm, we're going to grow a whole row of milkweed, because back in like the 60s, 70s, Kansas made it an obnoxious, well, that's what I call obnoxious weed. So it wasn't allowed to be grown. But what happens is it's monarch's main food supply is milkweed, especially when they're migrating. If they can't get something to eat in the Midwest as they fly through, they won't make it, they'll die. So that's what happened. They considered it milkweed to be invasive, and got rid of all of it. Got rid of a lot of it. There wasn't much milkweed at all. But I think us gardeners, we're starting to bring it back. And we can have some milkweed that won't be so invasive. We could keep care of it, and I don't know, maybe there is some milkweed out there that's not so invasive, but we'll just have to look for it and see. But anyway, that's kind of it for me. I'm doing laundry, and my brother and sister-in-law came yesterday to look at the house, because my brother's going to come and help finish it up. And he's supposed to come for a couple days this week, so that'll be fun. That's about it. Just another day outside, but it's beautiful out and it's nice out. It's not so hot. It's enjoyable. All right, you guys, I hope your harvests are very much in abundance, and I hope you're having a beautiful day. I'll see you in the next video. You all take care. Bye-bye. Good girl. What you got, Remi? What you got? Huh? Get Remi. Is that your big giraffe? Is that a giraffe? She says, I know you're taking pictures of me. She don't care.
Just barks and barks and...
Go get it. Yeah. I got your Garfield. She says, I don't care. I got my giraffe. Says, I like the big toy, don't you?